Okay. Rough sports night in general. Wolves. Fucking non-competitive horseshit game. Uh, and I ended up watching, basically just watching the Twins game almost the whole way, and that wasn't much better. Twins lose. I'm just gonna rant about the Twins a little bit. They lost again. They lost to the Royals 4-3. They're now 4-7, and this was just a really annoying game because it's another one of these ones that they just kick it away. I mean they didn't hit, but after the first couple innings, but it's kind of the same old shit. Just the Rocco Baldelli just what since the 2019 playoffs, he has shown over and over that he just is very very bad at at managing pitchers, knowing and have whether it's analytics that he's following or just his gut instinct or whatever. When to take guys out, who to put in, when to switch. You know, Again, they didn't hit. They got some hits early. They strung some hits together, got a few runs. Um, Chris Archer was starting. He was going okay for a while. Got into some trouble in the fifth, and we've seen it already with some of these games this year. Rocco will have a quick hook on a starter. Um, but he didn't this time. This time he leaves Archer in when he's obviously faltering, which is fine if you want to do that. But he has shown insistence on going the other way. Like, we want to have quick hooks on all our starters, and so he leaves Archer in to the point that he walked in a run, and then finally after he walks in the run, then Rocco goes out there and brings in reliever. They brought in Joe Smith. He got a double play right away. But so it's like, okay, well, and they still had the lead at that point, 3-2. So it's like, okay, you know, and I didn't even mention the part yet. Early in the game, I think it was before they even scored. Third base coach for some reason sends Gary Sanchez with nobody out. He's thrown out. We waste a challenge on challenging it. It was looked pretty fairly clear cut that he was out. We waste the challenge. This was like maybe the second inning, maybe third inning. And then we don't have a challenge, and I think it might have even been the next inning. Kepler probably beat out a single, but we couldn't challenge it. It's like, of course, like these things that just come back and bite us. And then there was also, I think it was the fifth inning or something. We got Nick Gordon starting in center. Rocco goes and pinch hits Kyle Garlick for him. Like, what is the fact? Is Kyle Garlick the new Jay Cave? Just like this nothing outfielder who we're just perversely fascinated with. And I think Garlick might have hit a home run over the weekend in Boston, but he's like a replacement level player. Nick Gordon's hitting better than a lot of the guys we got out there right now. And we go and yank him out of the game in the middle of the game. Like, they're not get that. This goes back, last year too. They just won't give Gordon a shot. I don't get it. I don't get what they have against the guy. I mean, hell, Gordon's only really playing because Buxton's out. He wouldn't even be playing. But they get out of it at 3-2. Joe Smith had come in and pitched. Gotten a quick double play to get out of it. So okay, why don't we just throw him back out there? No, we got to immediately put in Tyler Duffy, who has been a fucking joke so far this year, and I think technically this does count as a blown save because if you come in, counts as a blown save even if you come in I guess it would have been the sixth. Gives up a couple home runs, and boom, it's 4-3, and that was the end of the scoring. And we did. I don't know if we might have had or no, we did. I think we did have a couple base runners with that, because then we had the brilliant swap of Gordon for Garlick, and who comes up in a key spot with 2 outs and a couple guys on base? Kyle Garlick, and I think he just flew out. And that doesn't mean Nick Gordon was going to get a hit in that situation either, but I'd rather have the better player in that spot. And I don't know why we're taking still a young player, potential, part of the team, part of the team's future in Gordon. We're pulling him out in the middle of a game just for the righty-lefty matchup, I guess, and putting in Kyle Garlick, who's just a nothing player. It's just so frustrating. They didn't hit at all after the early innings, but it's just there's nothing to indicate from this team through 11 games now that they have any chance to be a contender. I don't think they have any chance. No one's hitting really. I mean, Buxton was a little bit before he got hurt. Arise is doing okay. There's a couple guys who are doing okay. Carlos Correa is doing absolutely nothing. He was the final out. Comes up in the 9th, 2 outs, runner on first. Come on, Correa. Let's do something. Actually, let's do something. He's still batting, comfortably under 200. I'm sorry. He's a temporary twin anyway, but he's getting paid $35 million this year, and he's played well in the field, but he ain't doing shit at the plate at all. I think he got 1 home run, I think that first series, and he has done absolutely nothing. He's just doing nothing. And they need him more than ever with Buxton out, and no one's doing anything at the plate. Polanco occasionally will get something. We're still getting next to nothing from guys like Kepler, Snow. Snow wasn't in the lineup in this game. Sanchez occasionally will get a hit. They're just not. This team going in the season, it was this team has to be led by its offense. And actually, the starting pitching has been, I think, markedly better than we expected. They haven't been flawless or anything, but they've been pretty good. Fucking Rocco on the TV, man. Can't stand that guy. It's looking like 2021 again. And at the plate, it's looking like 2020. We're just not getting the production. We just do not have the pitching to survive long term if the offense is going to be bad. And they're still bad. They scored some runs in the last Boston game. Obviously scored 3 tonight, but I mean that's nothing impressive. But they're still way at the bottom of baseball in terms of in basically all the categories. They're just very, very bad. And Rocco just is not good with managing pitching, and he's not going to get any better because he hasn't gotten any better. He cost us playoff games in 19 and 20 with his terrible decisions with pitchers, and it's gotten no better. I don't know. What is he going to even do in a couple weeks when they have to shrink the rosters and you can only have 13 pitchers? He's going to go into the fucking fetal position and cry because he insists on just overusing all his relievers. They've already had to call up a couple guys, from St. Paul. He's a joke. I can't fucking stand him. I can't stand looking at him on TV right there. I can't stand looking at the guy. He's a fucking idiot. I can't take it. He's terrible. I said this a bunch last year. Like he walked into this golden opportunity in 2019. I don't think he had anything to do with that team hitting the number of home runs they did. I think a whole lot of managers would have won the number of games he won that year, and it's been majorly downhill since. And this is looking like another really bad season. You know, I had him at 81 and 81. I don't know that they can do that. Because I still don't think they have the pitching, and I don't think what pitching we do have is going to be managed correctly by Rocco. And I think he's just an idiot. And this Buxton thing is just infuriating me. Now he has that injury. The first game in Boston. So they play a 4-game series there. They played now one in Kansas City. Where the fuck is Buxton? He had an MRI. You know, everyone when it happened, everyone was like thinking the worst. Like, oh my God, he tore something. This could be the season for him. Like, you know, this is going to be horrible. He had an MRI. He's got no damage. He's told, according to reports in the media, he told Rocco that he feels fine, that he feels good, like that he can play, but he isn't playing. Why is he not playing? Why is he not in these games? Now maybe you give him a couple days, because I mean they had to wait to do the MRI to begin with. Maybe you give him a couple days, but that injury was on Friday, and this was a Tuesday game, and he's still not playing. Now maybe he'll get out there tomorrow finally, but if there's no damage, there's no actual damage to his body, to his knee, and he says himself that he feels good, he should be in the fucking lineup. I mean, the numbers have borne out over the years that this team, when Buxton is in the lineup, is much better than when he isn't. But they won't play him, and it's not Buxton coming in and saying I can't play, I don't want to play, whatever. No, he can play, and he says that he can play, and he wants to play, and Rocco won't play him. And I don't know if ownership is getting involved because it's a high-priced player. I don't know if they're getting in there and saying what to do. But I mean, fucking play. If you're not injured and you say you're fine, then he should be able to play. Buxton is a guy who should be playing damn near every single day if he's healthy, and if he says he can play, which he says he can. But they won't play him. And I'm sure the counter argument is, well, if you put him out there when he's not 100%, which he's never going to be 100%. He's already had too many injuries in life. He's not 100%. He's never going to be 100%. He has to play. Get him in the fucking games. I don't get it. If you're gonna throw games away because you're gonna insist on playing Kyle Garlick, put Buxton in the fucking game. It's like, what is the argument? Well, if he could still get hurt. He could get hurt again. Okay, he could get hurt again anytime. It's a fucking argument from last week with the Kershaw thing. Like, he could get hurt anytime. Any player can get hurt anytime. Let the fucking guy get out there. He says he can play. The MRI says he has no damage in his knee. Maybe it's sore. Guess what? Everybody's sore. Everybody's sore all the time. Doesn't mean they don't play. Get the fuck out there and play. But for some reason, Rocco ain't playing him. He won't play him. He won't play his best player, even when the lineup is shit in most of these games. And they've played 11 games now. They've been really bad in at least 7 of those games, 8 of the games. They've had a couple games where they popped up and scored, but they need more, and they're not getting it. And can do the argument forever that it's early, but it's not going to be early forever. They need to win these games, because guess what? The White Sox are really good. And if you want to compete, and they said, I didn't believe they could compete. I did not believe coming into the season that they could compete with the White Sox, that they could compete for maybe a pennant. I don't think they can do that. I didn't think coming in they could do that. I really don't think they can do that now. I've seen nothing to raise my optimism. But they've claimed that they can do that. You don't sign Carlos Correa if you don't think you can maybe do that. But they can't. But they're not. They're kicking away games here with shitty pitching decisions and giving at bats to Kyle Garlick when you have a healthy Byron Buxton, or at least a Byron Buxton who is healthy enough to play, and they won't play him. And maybe he'll play tomorrow. And of course the other thing is, you're playing shorthanded for all these fucking games. Like if you're not gonna play him, then stick him on the fucking injured list, and at least get somebody up here who can play. Somebody better than Kyle Garlick. You gotta have somebody. I mean, this is ridiculous with this Kyle Garlick shit. I mean, you right before the season, you dump Brent Rooker in a trade because you like Kyle Garlick more than him for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what's. I don't know. It's just bad vibes around this team. They don't. It's just. It doesn't mean a bad 11 games doesn't mean that the season's over, but they could turn it around, go on a little win streak, and and get into this a little bit. But they've had much better than expected starting pitching, but I doubt that's going to last. We've seen it. We'll have we've seen it before. We're like, oh, starting pitching's a little better than we think. The lineup's worse, and then it'll flip. And this pitching ain't going to last. Maybe the hitting woes aren't going to last, but are they going to come together and do something? I don't see it. This is just not a well-run team, and I don't think it's been a very well-constructed team. And I don't have a lot of optimism about this season. I have even less optimism than I did 2 weeks ago. But look, maybe we'll get Buxton in there tomorrow. But I mean, it's a 26-man team, or will be in a couple weeks when they reduce the rosters. But I don't think this is a roster that is going to be able to do it, and nothing I've seen has given me any optimism so far. So, oh well. Wolves. They got the fucking shit pushed in tonight. We'll see what happens with them. Maybe game 3 they'll turn it back around. Maybe the Twins will turn it around. Probably neither one will happen.